price of rum in the budget. No, but the money's not gathered from the pocket. Look, there is the price of rum in the budget. No, but the money's not gathered from the pocket. Price of rum in the budget. No, but the money's not gathered from the pocket. Look, there is the price of rum in the budget. No, but the money's not gathered from the pocket. Some people just look at me and say I have no money, not knowing I did budget properly. Some of them just mad at me, maybe they're jealous me, but I just spend the money carefully. I know there is the price of rum in the budget. No, but the money's not gathered from the pocket.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. What is your budget looking like? How you doing? Welcome to the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. It's community and finance night. Kicking off things with the sound of Ravi B. A track called Budget. I want to say welcome to each and everyone locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, big ups to you. Much love to the affiliates all over the globe. Those across upon OneHarmonyRadio.com. Big ups to King Genius, Queen Genius, much love. Big ups to those out of New Jersey on NIE Radio. Much love to you. Big ups to the Motivator. Much love to those who are hailing out of New York. An island worldwide exhibiting the power of music. Big ups to those who are locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Welcome. If you're locked in on PEMGTV.com, welcome to you. Big ups to those out of Texas. You know, Texas well represented, right? Have Ottawa Radio. You got Dusick Media Group. And you have WGLRO, home of the Donnie Walker Morning Show. The People Station, taking you from the sheets to the streets, covering from Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. I want to say big ups to Donnie. Welcome back to the radio. You've been missed, bro. You can catch Donnie Walker from 6 a.m. Eastern, live and in living color on WGLRO. Much love to those who are locked in on Clubhouse. The club is called the Stew Pot. Come on, join the club. It's a nice little vibe, you know? Big ups to those on Facebook Live. You are invited to call a friend, tell a friend, share it with a friend. Friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because we're not leaving anybody out. You don't have to like them for them to get good information. I want to say big ups to my sponsors. Thank you, Pulse Media Group. When being in a moment is priceless, give them a call. What can they do for you? Everything that you see here on kevinstew.com and more. They do a lot of background work. You know, they host kevinstew.com. They can host your site too. But outside of that, you have a wedding, a party, a funeral, a seminar, you name it, anything that you want to broadcast live on a secure platform. Whether it is yours or theirs. A party, graduation, you name it. You have a seminar coming up. Call about PEMG TV. Yeah, them people. Pulse Media Group, 754-999-1140. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Thank you to Althea and her healing heavenly hands. Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. She only has one request outside of paying her. You get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. And believe me, you will fall asleep. I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global will act as your booking agent, handle your tour management, take care of your trademarks, business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more. Check them out, reggaeglobalentertainment.com. And big ups to McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands. They are licensed and insured movers. So you want to get from here to there, move from point A to point B. They have the solution for you. Call them up 954-406-9740. They'll work out logistics with you. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands. The sound of Ravi B. A track called Budget.
Now there is the price of rum in the budget.
So tonight being Community and Finance Night, we're looking at banking. When it comes to banking, you know, everybody, there was a time when you started talking about banking, and it was a matter of which bank are you going to walk into to start your accounts, right? You remember that? Now, it's a little bit different, and it is not something new, not by any stretch of the imagination, but no, there's so many more options. And the options, some of the options, you cannot walk into their doors because there are no doors. So tonight we're talking about online banking versus traditional banking. And if you want to call in to be a part of this broadcast, you can do so. 773-789-STEW is the number to get you in touch. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. I do prefer you calling. 773-789-7839. Of course, you are invited to jump into the stew pot. And for those wondering what the stew pot is, it's not just the name of the club on Clubhouse or the station on Zeno FM, big ups to Zeno FM, but it is also what others call a chat room. So you go to kevinstew.com and you are automatically in the stew pot. It's the interactive communication portal on kevinstew.com. So come on over, jump into kevinstew.com. You don't need to register. You don't need to offer your firstborn, an internal organ, any blood sacrifice, nothing like that. Just go to kevinstew.com. You can remain anonymous if you want to. You can put your name so that I know who I'm communicating with. Right? Nothing major to it. Just go to the website. And for those of you who are on Clubhouse and Facebook Live, remember, it's only a segment broadcast, so use up the link. It is in the description, it is in the comment section. Just use it up, come on over to kevinstew.com and let's be interactive. Now, when deciding between traditional and online banks, it helps to know the pros and cons of each, including price, service, and available options. So, here's a big question. Which one works best for you? Is it a brick and mortar traditional bank? Or does the new wave of banking, is that what will work for you? When it comes to deciding where to put your money, it can seem like the sky is the limit. There are so many banks, so many to choose from, with new ones popping up all the time. But where you decide to do your banking can have important effects on your financial life. So it's important that you don't just pick the next bank that comes along. You need to pick the right bank for your financial needs. Moneyunder30.com has an article which talks about this. And in the article, they give an overview of online banks and traditional banks. So some of the information you might be familiar with, some of it might be new to you, right? So I'm covering most, if not all, the bases tonight. Now, first off, you want to look at what's the difference between an online bank and a traditional bank. Both take care of your money, right? But they differ in quite a bit of features and capabilities. According to moneyunder30.com, some of these differences include the fact that online banks typically have no physical locations. They don't have locations you can visit. Everything that you do is either online by the web or by an app. Everything. You have speedy account opening processes with online banks. Opening an account at an online bank can be a quick and easy process. All you need to do is provide some personal information. But once you identify yourself, your new account can be up and running in a matter of minutes. Quick and easy. You know, some people say easy peasy. Yeah, that quick, that easy. Online banks focus on the user experience, making banking an easy and possible and as easy as possible via their online platform, whether it is the web again or the app. Either way, they make it really easy. Online banks may offer ATM access, but you want to make sure you find out what in-network fees you may encounter and what cash limits your account imposes. Now, when you take into consideration some of the fees that you may save, I think a little ATM fee, maybe neither here nor there. They're higher interest rates, and I think everybody looks for the best interest rate that is available when it comes to putting their money into a financial institution. Online banks usually offer better interest rates. They don't always have the expenses that traditional banks do. They have no buildings, the overheads are significantly lower, staffing tends to be significantly cheaper. So they can pass a little bit more of the savings onto the customer. And that is why their interest rates tend to be better. Well, one of the reasons. Online banks are clear winners when it comes to fees. Just as many online banks do not need to have your interest yields down to nearly nothing, they also have the wiggle room to charge less for fees. So you get better interest rates, and you either have no fees or very little fees. So again, you're keeping more of the money in your pocket or in your account. While online banks definitely have customer support teams, you'll also find yourself scrolling for answers in support forums or chatting with an online bot to get the help you need. So the customer service is a little bit different with the online banking. Now, with traditional banks, you have actual branches because the brick and mortar buildings actually do exist. And the branches are staffed with tellers and other employees that can help you to complete all your banking needs. At a traditional bank, you'll likely have to bring documentation with you and visit a branch during normal business hours. You could find yourself waiting anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour for your account to be completely set up. Traditional banks frequently offer a banking website or mobile app for you to conduct your transactions. However, oftentimes those apps are not as robust as online banks. Since traditional banks have branches, they also offer ATM access at their network of ATMs. So that's something else to consider. You might get a 0.1% APY, or in most cases 0.01% on a savings account at a traditional bank. But it's much easier to find higher yields at online banks. Traditional banks might charge $10 or $15 a month, anywhere in that range, to have a checking account. Now, you don't have that going on with your online banking. Well, you don't have that going on with credit unions either. Here and then you have where traditional banks tend to have an edge over online banks, and that is customer service. Part of all the overhead that is incurred by brick and mortar banks, by your traditional banks, lies in customer service. And that keeps them charging more because staffing the bank with friendly faces, it costs. It doesn't happen for free. So that's one of the major differences. And if you're the type that looks for that personal service, that one-on-one, that in touch, then you're the kind that looks for that banking, that traditional banking. Now, there are some pros and cons, right? And these pros and cons affect personal banking. Personal, well, some between personal and business banking, to be specific. And it's important that you understand the difference between personal banking and business banking. The personal banking is what you do for your personal life. A personal bank account is where you have your paycheck directly deposited. You may put your vacation savings or emergency fund in your personal savings account. Personal bank accounts typically have lower fees and are not designed for frequent business transactions. Business banking now is a little bit different. You might use a business bank account if you're an entrepreneur with your own small business, or a freelancer, or an independent contractor who needs to keep business money separate from personal money. You'll often find business banking and personal banking differed at the same institution. But rates offered for business accounts won't be the same as what is offered for personal accounts. So they're slightly different, and the inner workings tend to be different when you're dealing with them. Like a business account, typically you have to have a minimum in that account to defer fees. So you don't want to be paying a premium to have that account. You need a basic amount, which is typically more than what you would have in your personal checking account. So there are some things happening in that. All right. Now, online banking may seem like it's a new invention in the banking world. It's not. And there's a reason that they grew so quickly. In many ways, they're more popular with the younger bankers in particular. Online banks are typically every bit as safe as traditional banks. And that is something that many of us would have questions about. Because, again, it's online. And in a time where things are changing and a lot of things are happening online, people question the safety of your information online. But the safety as it relates to your banking, the online banks typically tend to be just as safe as your traditional banks. And their funds are also FDIC insured. So if that was a concern that you had, hey, I don't want to get involved in this online banking thing, because if something happens, who is going to cover my money? Is my money covered? Is it insured? And online banks, well, they're covered too. So that is where we start to look when we're looking at the online banking versus your traditional banking. Which one are you leaning more toward right now? Is there a particular one that is saying, hey, this one is where you should be coming to? Well, if you're not too sure yet, no, don't worry about it. I have more information to share with you because we have some rates to look at. We have some more pros and cons, some more differences between the two that we're going to look into. So if you're one that does a lot of traditional banking, please feel free to give me a call. 773-789-STEW. If you're one that does a lot of, all your banking is done through online banking, but you maintain one traditional type bank account, whether it is with a traditional bank or it is with a credit union, then give me a call. Tell me what the experience has been like for you. Do you feel more comfortable doing the online banking versus the traditional banking? Do you feel safer? What is it that works for you and why? If you're just tuning in, it's Community and Finance Night right here on the night shift of DJ Kevin Stew. We're looking at online banking versus traditional banking. And I do invite you to stick around. If you're on Facebook Live or Clubhouse, we're going to be parting company in just a few moments. And everything happens on kevinstew.com or the affiliates, One Harmony Radio, NIE Radio, Island Worldwide, WGLRO, Ottawa Radio, Dusik Media Group, PEMGTV.com, Zeno FM on the Stew Pot. So all these platforms available to you. The Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Did I say that? I think I did. If I didn't, then yeah, now you know. So come on over. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more online banking versus traditional banking. Which works better for you?
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Imagine having our own Caribbean Center.
Imagine a museum highlighting our history and the contributions of Caribbean people to the world.
Imagine being able to visit and learn about the islands we call home.
In a place where our kids can see and feel their cultural heritage. You can make this vision come to life.
Help us create this first-of-its-kind space
that all Caribbean people can be proud of. Your contribution to Island Space Caribbean Museum will help this dream come true.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe and donate today.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Reggae Global Entertainment presents the brand new self-titled album from Yishka with 9 great songs. Oh Baby Let Me Love You.
Oh, baby.
Be Grateful for Life.
Be grateful for life.
Shake You Down.
Girl, I wanna shake you
What else can I do?
What else can I do?
Babe, Come Over.
Baby, come over.
My. It's our time
You know I love you.
for your love.
I will do anything.
I'm falling.
I'm falling in love again.
Yishka. 9 great songs. Available on all streaming platforms.
You sure look good tonight.
Available now.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Still I say DJ Kevin Stew. After all I've been through, I never knew I'd ever find you. Never knew I'd find the love that I need in you. No one else has ever done the things you do. You love me for me, not for what I have or for what I could be. Never knew love till you. No one else has ever done the things that you do. Never knew love could be true. I would not want to live without you. Never knew love till you. It's a blessing to have found you. Your love is unconditional. Lord, I thank you for loving me. Love is kind. Love is not puffed up. It's not easily provoked. And it's not selfish. Love endures the things. It rejoices in the truth. So when perfection came around, I told all others goodbye. After all I've been through, I never knew I'd ever find you. No, I never knew I'd find the love that I need in you. Love is kind, love is not puffed up. It's not easily provoked, and it's not selfish. Love endures all things, it rejoices in the truth. So when perfection came around, I told all others goodbye. After all I've been through, I never knew I'd ever find you. No, I never knew I'd find the love that I need in you.
Welcome back to the broadcast. In the background, the sound of Audley Rollin.
You love me.
Track called Never Knew Love Till You. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. And how healing they are. Quite a heavenly experience to be touched by them. Go ahead and give Althea a call and set up your appointment today, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. Or you can email her at thealater@att.net. That's THEALATER@att.net. Thank you, Althea.
No one else has ever done the things you do.
So welcome back to the broadcast. We're looking at online banking versus traditional banking.
Not for what I have or for what.
No, and we were looking at doing a little bit of a comparison between the two. And when we went off on the break, we said we were going to come back and look at rates. So what do we have information-wise as it relates to online banking versus traditional brick-and-mortar banking? And what we've come across, according to moneyunder30.com, is one of the biggest benefits of most online banks is that they typically offer much better interest rates on your savings accounts. Now, with no bank branches to pay for, online banks have lower overheads that they pass on. Online bank interest rates can be as much as 10 times higher than your standard traditional bank. And during these times, when you have rock bottom interest rates being applied to your accounts, you know, it's a 1% is going to trump a 0.1 or 0.01% any day. One of the best online checking accounts that you'll see anywhere is actually from an online checking account offered from an online bank. And they offer 1.2% bonus on balances upwards of $5,000. But they have one of the best rates that you'll see, 1.2%. Now it's worthy, or it's worth looking into and doing comparisons with your online banks to see what offers which rates, which bank offers which rates or what rates, your ATM accessibility, how their customer service works, if they offer any other types of benefit, referrals and such like that. You know, if you refer someone, do you get a benefit? Do you get something from making a referral? Because you're doing their advertising, right? So checking out to see which online bank you're gonna go with, you might want to check some of these things out, because when you talk about a brick and mortar, you tell your friend that you go to a brick and mortar bank, and they walk in and say, you know, this person told me about you guys, and I'm here to open an account, just because they talk so highly of you. They go, oh, great, have a seat right here, or come over to this teller and we'll get you all set up. Nothing else. But with online banks, some of them give you something back for a referral. You might get a $50 here or there. You might get a, whatever incentive they have available, they pass it on, because they can do that. The beauty of online banking is convenience, and everybody likes things, especially if you're in the United States. You basically you want everything at your fingertips. here in the US, we tend to be a bit spoiled. We are a bit, you know, instant minded. So with online banking, there's a lot of instant activity happening. You don't need to make a deposit if you need to make a deposit at 3 a.m., it's not a problem. You just do it. Just take a picture of your check. Let's say you're depositing a check. You take a picture of that check and you do your deposit. Now, some traditional banks offer that service also by way of their apps. So you don't even need to stress it. But if you have cash to deposit, just like you would go do the traditional bank, you go to an ATM, you make your deposit. Just simple like that. Right? Now, if you're wondering if your check cleared, just visit your banking website and check the status. You can make transfers, withdrawals, bill payments, everything that you can do at your traditional bank, you can do it with your online bank. In addition to competitive interest rates, according to moneyunder30.com, online banks also tend to offer their customers very low fees compared to traditional banks. Some online banks offer fee-free checking accounts or savings accounts, perks that save you about $10 to $15 a month, depending on the bank. And you might even find a bank that doesn't charge ATM fees, transfer fees, or any of the other fees that tend to add up with your brick and mortar banks. So, who then would online banking benefit? Who are the ones that you'd say, if you were to target a particular demographic, they would be these people? Well, those would be the ones that are already living their life online. Boy, that kind of has everybody falling under that umbrella. Just about. Online banking will require you to be comfortable with using an app or a website to make deposits, to check balances, to do transfers. Once you're already doing those things and you're comfortable with it online, yeah, you might want to look into some online banking. If you can confidently open an app and follow directions and hate making a special trip to the bank, you're going to love online banking. There are some banking apps or some online banks that when you sign up for a free account, you get access to their spend and save accounts, which is your equivalent to your traditional banks having a checking and a savings account. But instead of your checkbook, you get an easy to use app. And it will show you your balance, your recent transactions. It will show you real-time transactions alerts even. And if you lose your card, just go in the app and freeze your account. Traditional banks have been catching on and offering services like those with their cards. If you don't like writing checks, there are some banks that will write the check for you. Some online banks that will write the check for you. Again, traditional banks have caught on and started doing these things also. Because here it is. They're going to have to compete with some of these online banks. So, because they want to keep that service, and they I think traditional banks typically, it sounds cliche, but they bank on the fact that you don't want to go through the hassle of moving. So moving virtually can be just as stressful as moving physically. They're hoping that you don't want to go through the stress of moving your finances from your traditional banking to online banking. But here's how I see it. If over time you're saving some money, then over time you're going to move away from your brick and mortar. What is going to probably end up happening in the grand scheme of things is, because you know how supply and demand work, right? High demand and low supply equals high prices. Low demand and high supply equal low prices, because now you want to make it available to everyone. So basics of economy, right? So since your traditional banks were typically all that they were, and they were just competing against each other, it was who offered the best fees. Now, with online banking coming in and starting to take over things, they're starting to have to lower some of those fees or change the mindset so that it looks like they're an exclusive club. And typically with your exclusive clubs, you pay a premium to be a part of it, right? So they talk about things like security of your funds. Well, unless you do the research, you won't know that your online banking is giving you the same type of security. So what is it that they are going to have over your online banking, they being your traditional banks? What are they going to have over your online banking? You remember there was a time when to be a banker, it was this prestigious position. Now you kind of have to wonder, because you have all these financial advisors all over the place, coming in all type of shapes and sizes and forms. So, just something more to consider when you're looking at your finances and where to house them. Now, one of the best things about online banks is that you can almost always find one for free. So you can get a free checking account at just about any one of the online banks. I'm not going to call any names because, it's kind of like free advertising. For a checking account at a traditional brick and mortar, you could be looking at about $120 a year just in monthly fees to use the bank account. Right? If you like free things, then you will love the banks that pay you to bank with them. And there's a bank that does that. They pay interest if you maintain a certain balance. Their hybrid checking account will pay you 1% APY if you keep $2,500 in your account. Now, compared to what you're getting at your major traditional banks, which is 0.01%. Understand, you're talking about 1% versus 0.01%. Yeah, there was no mistake in that number. If you are a freelancer or you have a side hustle, then you are encouraged to look at the benefits of using an online bank account for your business. It keeps your business funds separate from your personal money, which then helps you to treat your efforts as a legitimate business. It also makes things way easier at tax time. If you're going to do most or all of your business online, you'll probably enjoy doing your business banking through an online bank. Now, not every business bank account is made for the freelancer's life. Even business bank accounts designed for small businesses can require high daily balances or large monthly fees, and that often doesn't fit with operating a freelance business. I've had that experience, looking into having a business bank account. You're much better off with a free online account. They're There's one bank that is considered a great bank to do business with. It's free to open an account, and they do not charge monthly fees. A lot of online banks fall under that umbrella. You can link your personal checking account and arrange for invoices to be paid to your business account. Then transfer some of the earnings over to your personal account. You can protect some of your business earnings for paying taxes later on. And it's easy to keep records. Plus, if you sign up, they'll help you with discounts for apps and services that you will actually use in your business. Your business accounting apps, for example. And they offer robust, their app is robust enough that lets you monitor your balances and save money and pay bills and transfer funds to linked accounts and things like that. There's another one that offers both a business checking account and loans for small businesses. And their checking account provides unlimited transactions. They have live support, no monthly fees, and you can earn up to 1.2% APY. Those are great numbers in the banking world. The business loan side of this one comes with either a line of credit or invoice factoring. Now, with a line of credit, you can get up to $250,000 in credit, with rates as low as 4.8%. With invoice factoring, you can get a factoring line up to $5 million, with rates as low as 0.25% per week. So those are some of the reasons why you should consider online banking. Now, you have those why you have the question also why you should use traditional banking. And let me see, I could probably look through this real quick. All right, let me look through this real quick before I take the next break. So, according to moneyunder30.com, there are still some benefits to using traditional banks. It's that if that is what you're used to, then you'll pretty much be inclined to, like I said earlier, to not change. A lot of us we have an aversion to change. But again, change is a necessity. You hear me talk about this all the time, right? So those who tend to be more free-minded, open-minded, would often be open to certain types of changes, like moving from your traditional banking to online banking would be one of those changes. Traditional banks will be able to offer you more personal service depending on the bank you choose and the tellers that staff your local branch. You might wind up banking at the kind of place where everybody knows your name. It's kind of like Cheers, like a bar, your regular bar. Yeah, you walk in and everybody know you. Yeah, you could end up with a banking system like that. The employees can help you to set up banking products like your loans and your credit cards and explain how they work. And if you prefer a personal touch to your banking experience, then traditional banking is where you'd want to go. And with a traditional bank, you might have access to more powerful features than you would with a bare bones online bank. In addition to personal service at in-person locations, you might have a more robust banking website with more features, including ones that will help you to save money. Traditional banks also tend to be more involved with the communities that they serve, and some can even provide business account holders with networking opportunities. And once you have a business, you'll always want to be networking. Again, online has its place for networking. So if you're doing online banking and you're living your life generally online, then you'll know how to use these features. You'll know where to go for certain things. So, who then should use traditional banks? Well, they're going to be better for those who are looking for a personal touch with their banking. You'll be able to just pop into your local branch to see a smiling face instead of going crazy in the multiple choice labyrinth of a customer service call. Yeah, you know what that experience is like. Press this if you need that. Press this if you need this. Press that if you don't need this but need that and not this. And the list goes on. Now, a lot of traditional banks offer more than just checking or savings accounts, and they allow you to do a lot of different banking tasks under one roof. You have a UK-based bank which is making their way outwards across the pond, and they offer CDs, credit cards, mortgages, investing, insurance, in addition to a wide variety of checking and savings accounts. And you'd never need another bank if you choose to route all your financial activities through just this one location, this one particular bank. Another one offers a full service selection of banking and borrowing with credit cards and CDs, rounding out their checking and savings selections. And they offer 0.4% APY on their savings builder account, although you need either a $25,000 balance or you need to deposit $100 monthly to see those yields. If it's a business account that you're interested in, traditional banks can help you bank like a boss, literally. There is one popular bank that is the choice for small businesses. You don't have a minimum to open an account, and there are tons of branches across the United States. And there are robust online options like the website and the app for when you need to do your banking transactions right away and outside of regular hours. So what are we looking at overall? Whether you go with an online or a traditional bank, it depends on your banking needs. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to look at your banks versus your credit unions before I wrap this all up in a neat little bow and move into musical therapy. Once again, this is the night shift with DJ Kevin Stewart's Community and Finance Night, and we're looking at online banking versus traditional banking. Which one works better for you? Where is it that you want to put your money? Do you know? Are you sure you know? Well, you might want to do some more research into that. We'll be right back after these messages.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion. Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com. Teddy Greaves Jr. with 6 brand new songs out now on his brand new EP, Teddy Greaves Jr. with songs you know and love like Can You Stop the Rain?
Can you stop the rain?
One Last Cry. Can't Get Over You. Wait Too Long. You and I. And One Last Cry, the acoustic version. Teddy Greaves Jr. Now available on all major digital platforms. Teddy Greaves Jr.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless. It's March Madness and it's happening right now on marykay.com/Kevin Stew. You can get the satin handset and with that purchase, get 50% off the pink clay mask. Go ahead and capitalize on that today. It is March Madness. It is the month of March and the madness continues. How crazy is it? Well, at a time when hand washing happens even more than before, we have drier hands and we want to protect them. We even want to restore the gentleness in them, the tender touch. If you are one that wants to do that, whether you're male or female, go ahead, capitalize on this special that is being offered right now. Go to marykay.com/Kevin Stew and support yours truly, DJ Kevin Stew, in his Mary Kay business with a satin handset and get 50% off the pink clay mask.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin Stew and the night shift radio show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin Stew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin Stew believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christine. It's a heart to talk. Loud. The peace.
I'm supernatural. I'm walking in my faith, 'cause I have a purpose. And even if I fall hard, I get back up. What a feeling when I know what I can do. Sometimes I wonder, how did I make it through? Well, I had a feeling it'll be alright. Yeah. I looked to my God and He cleared the way through. He gave me the feeling it'll be alright. Sunny days are ahead. broken down, torn apart to pieces. It'll be alright. And I can tell you that it won't take too long. Be strong, 'cause it'll be alright. 'Cause better days are ahead, better days ahead, yeah, yeah, ahead. I'm supernatural.
The sound of China Nicole.
Even when I fall hard, I get back up and ooh.
The track is called Supernatural.
What a feeling when I know what I can do.
What a feeling indeed.
Broken down, torn apart to pieces. It'll be.
Want to welcome you back to the broadcast. It's the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew.
And I can tell you.
It's Community and Finance Night. Thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast. Remember, they can take care of your bookings, your trademarks, your business registration, legal service referrals, marketing and promotion, and so much more. Check them out, reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
I'm walking in my faith, 'cause I have a purpose.
If you fall hard, just know that you can get back up, because when you hit ground, there's no further for you to go.
I'm supernatural.
So all you can do is go up, right?
Walking in my faith, I have a purpose.
That means you can just get up.
I get back up and ooh.
That's right.
What a feeling when I know what I can.
Closing out this segment of the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, we're looking at tossing credit unions in the mix, because we've been pretty much looking at your traditional banks, right? Looking at online banking versus traditional banking. Let's toss a little bit of a fly in the ointment here. What are some of the key takeaways when you're looking at traditional banks, or you're looking at your banks versus your credit unions? Well, some of the key takeaways include, according to Investopedia.com, credit unions tend to have lower fees and better interest rates on savings accounts and loans, while banks have mobile apps and technology that tend to be more advanced. Banks often have more branches and ATMs nationwide, and some credit unions offset this advantage with a co-op shared branch network of 5,600 branches and more than 54,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Credit unions are known for providing better customer service, while large national banks tend to have stricter rules and less flexibility in decision making. Just some key takeaways when you're looking at credit unions versus your banks. Now, banks typically are owned by investors and operate as a for-profit institution, and banks must make a profit for their investors. That's how they operate. Anyone is eligible to open an account with a bank, including individuals or companies. Customers do not have to have a vote or a say in how a bank is run. Unlike a credit union, which actually has a membership. At a bank, you're a customer. At a credit union, you're a member. Banks offer both personal and commercial banking products, including business cards, business credit cards, and business loans. Banks have may offer investment and saving vehicles like individual retirement accounts, your IRAs, CDs, certificates of deposit, and money marketing accounts. When you're looking for a loan of any type, it's always best to check both your banks, your local banks, and your credit unions. Online banks may offer lower rates than brick and mortar institutions with an online presence, but banks usually can't compete with credit unions when it comes to loans. Since banks must make their money for their investors, they tend to have more and higher fees than credit unions. Free checking accounts at banks usually come with stipulations such as minimum account balances or requirements for additional account types like mortgages and credit cards. The fees for errors such as a bounce check or overdraft tend to be higher when it comes to your banks also, especially if you don't qualify for a premium account. And again, when you're researching banking fees, it is important to compare both online banks with your brick and mortar banks, which is pretty much what we've been focusing on tonight. Large banks tend to have more money to spend on technology, and as a result, they are known for adding technical services much more quickly than a credit union would. Mobile banking services are likely to be far more advanced at banks. And if technology and online banking are the keys to your choice, then make a list of must-have services and ask for a demonstration of them before opening an account at a bank or at a credit union. With credit unions, they are not for profit and are owned by their members. And according to the Credit Union National Association, 120 million Americans belong to one. Banks must make a profit for their investors, and credit unions have no need to make a profit for their members. Instead, their goal is to keep their fees low, to set their interest rates on savings as high as possible, and to set their interest rates on loans as low as possible. Credit unions must limit their customer base to what is called field of membership. This can include a company where people work, a school or a place of worship, a geographical area, or a membership in an organization. National credit unions get creative about how to increase membership eligibility. There's one that enables membership through its association, which people can join for $5. Members of credit unions also have the ability to vote on credit union policies and participate in decisions. Customers at a bank, well, they don't have that luxury. Credit unions tend to offer fewer products than banks do, especially in the commercial banking area. Credit unions, which tend to be considerably smaller than banks, also offer fewer investment products limited to checking and savings accounts and credit cards. Not all the time, but that's a tendency. In many cases, you'll find that credit unions offer the lowest interest rates on loans, such as car loans and mortgages. As for interest rates on savings products, well, you'll probably find the credit unions offer higher than the bank interest rates. The National Credit Union Administration, using data from S&P Global Market Intelligence, regularly compares interest rates for savings deposits and loans for banks versus credit unions. Its 2020 third quarter table shows that credit unions posted higher interest rates on CDs and money markets and savings accounts and lower interest rates on most home and car loans. So if you're looking for a car loan and wondering where to go get it, you might want to check out your credit union. Now, many credit unions offer checking accounts with no minimum balance and no monthly service charges. Depending on the credit union, the fees for banking errors like bank check, bounce checks, well, they will typically be lower than your banks as well. National and global banking companies often have large budgets for technology, unlike your small credit unions. However, it is possible to find national credit unions with digital banking options that provide most of the services that you'll need. Make sure to ask credit unions about their mobile banking technology and check their website for simplicity and services. It is important to note banks and credit unions are typically insured up to $250,000, so there's really no need to worry about the safety of your money. Most of us do not have $250,000 in savings anyway. So what are some of the key differences we're looking at here with credit unions and banks? Larger banks may subject you to bad customer service. One notorious case in 2018 was that a famous bank, a large bank in the United States, was fined $575 million for opening unauthorized accounts and charging consumers with unnecessary auto insurance and mortgage fees. Now, while this may have been a particularly bad actor among banks, many big banks are inflexible in their customer service because rules are not set locally. Rather, they are enforced by national boards of directors and executive leadership, and that may actually lead to some bad customer service experiences. Credit unions look to serve their membership and tend to be more flexible when it comes to their customers' needs. Votes regarding customer service issues are influenced by the account owners, the members of the credit union, and they have equal voting rights. Also, credit union membership is smaller and better known to local branches, which helps facilitate establishing relationships with branch managers and loan decision makers. And this can make it easier to get the loan that you need. And of course, some banks make customer outreach a goal, so you may find a good personal service at a local branch, but your credit unions tend to outweigh them. Major banks typically have more locations to provide direct customer service, while credit unions tend to be in much smaller towns and cities with fewer branches. Now, to offset the disadvantage, credit unions have formed a co-op shared branch network with more than 5,600 shared branches nationwide. And you can search for online branches. Now, in addition, and I mentioned this earlier, they have 54,000 surcharge-free ATMs through the co-op or MoneyPass in order to provide more competitive customer service nationwide. Now, there are some special considerations according to Investopedia.com. Accounts in banks and credit unions are insured up to $250,000, like I mentioned earlier, right? If you have more than $250,000 to deposit, you might want to talk with the customer service department at the institution that you've chosen and inquire about a variety of accounts that you can use to increase your access to insurance. A checking account and a savings account, for example, will each qualify you for insurance up to $250,000. So if you have $250,000, just split it. Put a portion in your checking and put a portion in your savings. Now, no accounts in banks and credit unions are both insured for amounts up to $250,000 via either FDIC or National Credit Union Administration. If you have more than $250,000 to deposit, you should speak with account managers. Now, what then would you ask is a major advantage of having a credit union? Well, they typically offer lower fees, higher savings rates, and more hands-on and personalized approach to customer service than to their members. In addition, credit unions may offer lower interest rates on loans, and it may be easier to obtain a loan with a credit union than a large impersonal bank. In addition, members of credit unions play an active role in how it functions. Credit union members get to vote on policies and decisions made by the financial institution. At your banks, well, you just take whatever you're given. Most credit unions cannot compete with banks when it comes to convenience, though, and technology like mobile banking. Many credit unions cannot compete with online banks in terms of technology. Credit unions may offer lower interest rates on loans, but the array of financial products tend to be limited in scope compared to your big banks. So, when it comes to credit unions versus banks, what are we looking at here? Credit unions will offer you lower cost services and better interest rates for both loans and deposits. Banks will provide more services and products as well as more advanced technologies, and you'll need to take factors into consideration in deciding which type of institution will best serve your needs. When it comes to your online banking versus your traditional banking, whether you go with your traditional bank or your online bank, a lot of it depends on your personal needs and your preferences and budget. For the low cost independent, online banking is where you want to go. For the high budget but high features path, your traditional banks may be your preference. There's no law that says you only have to have one account. You might prefer to have your checking account at a traditional bank but use online savings accounts for the great interest rates. That is totally up to you. Either way, you'll be stashing your cash in a safe, dependable place so that it can grow, which is the whole point of having a bank account, no matter where you put it. So, whichever one you go with, again, that totally depends on you. How it is that you use it, again, depends on you. Do you go with your traditional bank? Do you go with your online bank? Do you go with a credit union versus a traditional bank if you want to go brick and mortar? Do you want to mix and match? Personally, I have all three. I have a credit union account, I have a traditional bank account, I have online bank account. Which ones work for you? That's what you need to decide. And like I tell people, I'm not here to answer your questions. So I'm not here to satisfy your hunger. I'm here to stimulate your appetite. So do you have more questions now that I have started looking at this topic versus when I actually started? Because I don't remember ever touching on this before. Maybe I did some long time ago, but it was necessary to revisit it. And so I'm doing it now. Do you have more questions than you've been given answers? If so, perfect. That's what this was for. That was what this was all about. Go ahead, do your research and decide whether you're going to go with your online banking or your traditional banking. And if you're going to go traditional, you're a brick and mortar, are you going to go with a bank, or are you going to go with a credit union? It's been community and finance. Where do you stand with housing your finances? It's that time where we get into musical therapy. Kicking it off tonight with the sound of Marty Dread.
See, every day I hear them say.
He's working out with Sly and Robbie. This track is called Teach Them.
Or is it really us?
Sly and the late Robbie.
Listen more, talk less, and we would be sure who they
I want to thank McNeil Trucking for sponsoring the musical therapy segment. With McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands.
Our children have lost their way, but is it them, child, or is it really us? Maybe we should listen more, talk less, and we would be sure who they become, child, who they become. So you better love them, teach them, show them how to rock, grow them, know them, don't stay aback. To be a part of life. So you better love them, teach them, show them how to rock. Grow them, know them, don't stay aback. Don't just talk, but listen to the words they say. They say. X is a lot more free, but do they know what they need to know? They may be more techno smart, but do they really know the heart of what it is to really live? You better love them, teach them, show them how to rock, grow them, know them, don't stay aback. To be a part of life. So you better love them, teach them, show them how to rock. Grow them, know them, don't stay aback. Don't just talk, but listen to the words they say. They say.
Rhythm Twins working out with Marty Dread.
More and more it seems to me.
Marty Dread working out with the Rhythm Twins.
Are a lot more free, but do they know?
Sly Dunbar and the late Robbie Shakespeare. Track called Teach Them.
They might be more techno smart, but do they really know the heart of what it is to really live? Love them, teach them, show them how to rock. Grow them, know them, don't stay aback. Be there, see there, need to be a part of life. You better love them, teach them, show them how to rock. Grow them, know them, don't stay aback. Don't just rock, but listen to the words they say.
This is Empress Unique working out with Culture Cali. Track called The World Needs Changes.
Today we're here and tomorrow we're gone.
Real hard time.
Gone to a place called No Man's Land.
As you say again.
Right here on earth, you can't even hold your brother's hand.
Yeah.
A stand for what's right on this land. You got one foot in
Universe Unique working out with Culture Cali. Track called The World Needs Change.
For what's right on this land, you got one foot in and the next one out. You know what I'm talking about. One foot in and the next one out. There is no doubt. You got one foot in and the next one out. You know what I'm talking about. One foot in, the next one out.
To make the world go round, even though we know it takes hate to make it all tumble down. Yeah.
This is the sound of Ed Robinson.
Goes up, don't always come back down. No, but when
Track called The More We Are Together.
we know it's have to come back around. So if you're digging one pit, my brother, better you just dig two. And if you're setting one trap, my sister, set another one for you. Don't you know things are always never what they seem? No, my reality could sometimes be your dream. Yeah. The more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be. Yes, the more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be. Yeah. Instead of building walls, let's build bridges instead. Instead of fighting wars, let peace go ahead. Today is for you, but tomorrow's for me. Yeah. The light has been shining for you. Don't be so blind to see. Yeah. Things are always never what they seem. No, my reality could sometimes be your dream. The more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be. Yes, the more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be.
Never leave I or forsake I. You're right there when I call on you. You forgive I and redeem I. You bless my soul when I call on you.
This is on of Phil Watkins.
Or forsake I. You're by my side.
Track called Never Leave I.
Who I get the vision of a stay wise is the teacher in my school. Him set the laws on the foundation and you abide him by his rule. So much talent that if I put on wisdom is I tool. Now go waste my days and act no fool. I look you and deal with dread me and tell you do no come around. I got the blows in my throat and I go make them overthrow me. Love and joy is truth and his grace will always surround me. You never ever leave I lonely. Never leave I or forsake I. You're right there when I call on you, Jah. You forgive I and redeem I. You bless my soul when I call on you, Jah. Never leave I or forsake I. You're by my side when I need you. I walk with you, Jah. Talk with you, Jah. Keep me firm and strong so there's no fall with you, Jah. Through the roughest of times, you brought me through, Jah. Only you, Jah. I am anointed. I am anointed. To do Jah words, cause I trod upon this earth. In Jah, I find my comfort. Jah is my comfort. Never leave I or forsake I. You're right there when I call on you, Jah. You forgive I and redeem I. You bless my soul when I call on you, Jah. Never leave I or forsake I. You're by my side when I need you. Who I get the vision of to stay while trying to teach her in my school. Him set the laws on the foundation and you're abiding by his rule. So much challenge that I give I root and wisdom is I tool. Now go waste my days and I'm no fool. I'm gonna look you and deal reject me and beg you do no come around me. I thought the blows to my throat and I go make them move and throw me. Love and design is truth and the grace will always surround me. You never ever leave I lonely. You never leave I or forsake I. You're right there when I call on you, Jah. You forgive I and redeem I. You bless my soul when I call on you, Jah. From long, long time you heard.
This is the sound of Norris, man. It's called Builders of Rome.
The builders of Rome reign. The builders of Rome always reign. Lack of understanding with our people. Ooh, oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Mostly everyone. Some people are afraid to be strong. The guideline is Jah is your lifeline. Rasta we don't say. In love there must be strength. There must be strength. In goodness there must be delight. Yes. I said the builders of Rome they reign, while the people hurting themselves. The builders of Rome they reign, fighting each other. Now tell me what you gain. The builders of Rome they reign, while the people hurting themselves. The builders of Rome they reign, hurt each other. Now tell me what you gain. But as a people, we should never give in. The fight is forever, and the journey continues. I said the builders of Rome they reign, while the people hurting themselves. The builders of Rome they reign, fighting each other. Now tell me what you gain. The builders of Rome they reign, while the people hurting themselves. The builders of Rome they reign, hurting each other. Now tell me what you gain.
In these times that we live in, thanks and praises be given. Count your blessings one by one. You're still awake when the mornings come. I and I still a smile with your rising sun.
This is the sound of Willis.
Work
The track is called Rising Sun.
by the bread. Share more love. His blessings rain from above. Cause no matter how the road gets tough, you keep your mind uplift. Wind up a split, bring your mind at ease. In trust and you will see tranquility. You're as free as the breeze. Things tough and the rent and the bills due. No job, got a family to tend to. Once in the struggle, they know it's all the same. Living fake freedom, their shackles we chain. We're in a lockdown, no sense we complain. Couldn't see it coming, but we still give thanks and praise. Still don't fall to Babylon. Lift up your heads to your rising sun. Cause no matter how the road gets tough, you keep your mind uplift. Wind up a split, bring your mind at ease. In trust and you will see tranquility. You're as free as the breeze.
Sometimes I'm weary, lots of things I know I needed, but my self-esteem they low on the ground.
This is the sound of Trisha.
I cannot focus, I'm losing concentration.
It's called Keep Rising.
Feel like I'm all alone. Put my feet on solid ground, me still I wear the crown. Life nobody feel me now. Because the time frame you narrow, some people hollow. Be careful of
The rhythm is called the No Hesitation Rhythm, courtesy of J Vibe.
to walk this path of life the way I
Yeah man, J Vibe production.
will seek towards my own destiny. I'll keep on trying and trying, even when I get derailed. I'll keep on trying and trying, even if I might just fail.
A number of the artists on this compilation
Is my
hailing out of Africa.
rise again.
I love it.
Rising and rising, never gonna let me down. When I wake up in the morning, my heart's still a beat. I have to put a smile on my face, and I have to give thanks to the Creator for another day to shine my light. So I open up my mind, I put myself in line towards my goal. I shall not lose my sight. So I pull towards my destiny. Yeah. So I never gonna get me down. So never gonna get me down. No. Keep on trying and trying, even when I get derailed. I'll keep on trying and trying, even if I might just fail. 'Cause the greatest gift of all is my ability to rise again. I'll keep on rising and rising, never gonna let me down. Come lie down and smile now. Let go your fear and I will show you.
This is Berlicia.
Slow down, approach.
It's called Blue Fields of Love.
I beneath the sound of a little breeze through the leaves of the trees. Yes, they rustle like it's nothing at all. Times like these, we just need a little peace in a circle like we're having a ball. If we just lie here, let our minds clear, ain't got no worries at all. Caught up in the niceness, time spent with you was priceless. Oh yeah. Fields of love, for every problem there's an answer from above. Time will never be enough, so don't worry about it, vibrations automatic. Blue fields of love, it's a place to do and to be gentle with yourself and feel the love. Even if your light dims a little, just shine it in my window. Fighting with the tears, you can hide them in my pillow. I promise I will be there when your mind can't seem to settle. Let the past go and please understand that baby, times like these, we just need a little peace. I'm my happiest with you and you're the happiest with me. Your love is like gold and I'm rich beyond belief. There's no telling what we can achieve. If we just lie here, let our minds clear, ain't got no worries at all. Caught up in the niceness, time spent with you was priceless. Oh yeah. Blue fields of love, for every problem there's an answer from above. Time will never be enough, so don't worry about it, vibrations automatic.
Music just turns me on.
This is South Florida's very own G. Cole, member of the RG Squad, Reggae Global Squad. Remember, you can catch Reggae Global Squad live. Just like, subscribe, and share. You'll find it on YouTube. Reggae Global Squad live. Taking a look into the life of the Reggae Global Squad. That includes this guy here that you hear on this recording right now, G. Cole, Ed Robinson, Joanna Marie, Melly, Joanna's daughter, Marlon Burrell, host of Real Rockers that you can hear Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern on Reggae Global Radio and affiliates. And yours truly, DJ Kevin Stew.
I can see that you're walking alone. Can tell
ashes are melting, you're afraid and weak in knees. Believe me, I've been there before. Just have faith, Jah knows that you see. The feeling comes and it's gone again. So just leave it to Jah. There's nothing that you can do. It'll make you feel strong again, like you're starting afresh. Everything's brand new. And I'm so in love with the life that I go to my bed real early just so the night goes by real fast and the morning comes. The sunlight really makes me come alive. I feel so free. I spread my wings and fly just like a bird. Just like a bird.
Hear me now. Well, every day me get up a peer news me a hear. I try to scare we and put the whole of we in a fear. Curfew a lot we don't have them the things that we are beer.
This is the sound of Neri.
Food for the youth them.
It's called Turn Up the Music.
Expect me to do them. Pick up the guns them and start fire them. Who know no business cause and no fear friend. Until I wanna know then no we care then. Turn off the radio and turn up the music. Turn off the radio and turn up the music.
Yeah, sometimes you need to be aware of what you're doing, you know.
Turn off the radio.
It requires you to turn off the radio and turn up the music. You need some musical therapy in your life, right?
Me feel like a slave in my hometown. Digital control right around. Can't send a message from my phone and Babylon no see. Can't do nothing without Uncle Summer Peep. All them a thing I make the Almighty grieve. Well, I say so much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. Well, I say so much trouble in the world. Trouble in the world. When I say turn off the radio and turn up the music. Turn off the radio and turn up the music. Turn off the radio and turn up the music. So turn off the radio and turn up the music. Me say we tired of the bad news. We need to start hear some good news. This a beta I get them confused. Turn off the news and turn up the music. Music is the only true remedy. So I want all the leaders to see that what you're doing is a waste of time. Let reggae music blow your mind. So turn off the radio and turn up the music. Turn off the radio and turn up the music. Turn off the radio and turn up the music. Turn off the radio and turn up the music.
Wanna live it up, just like in my dreams. And take my mama out of the scheme. I wanna travel the world, make a stop at the Queen.
This is the sound of Alfred.
I know how it feels to forget about my bills and my red sky.
A track called Live It Up.
The hippie to the sunrise. I wanna live it up, just like in my dreams. I wanna
Bouncing through this musical therapy, closing out Community and Finance Night.
to Madrid, Spain, with the Marty's and champagne. I wanna be playing golf with some superstars, popcorn, Drake and Bruno Mars. Wanna surf with Rihanna. I wanna ride in the limo with Taylor Swift. Pull back with the glass walls, and I'm only driving fast cars. Wanna live it up, just like in my dreams. And take my mama out of the scheme. I wanna travel the world, make a stop at the Queen. I really the Maldives, chilling in my slippers and my short jeans, jet skiing of the West Keys, me and my honey living stress free. Wanna party down in Africa, I wanna sail on a yacht to Jamaica, living life like a Bruce Wayne, life of the rich and the fame. Wanna live it up, just like in my dreams, and take my mama out of the scheme. I wanna travel the world, make a stop at the Queen. I really wanna know how it feels to forget about my bills and my gray skies. Wake up like a hippie till the sunrise. I wanna live it up, just like in my dreams. I wanna live it up, I wanna live it up.
It's morning in Gideon, living in a easier time. Jaja give we straight, so we do more than survive. World they in a crisis, but we still a thrive. Who no understand, I wonder why. Fox News and CNN, breaking news a bag of lie. More them a divide, the more they make from advertise. See your overstanding before you pick a side. More people sleepwalking than thousands who have died. C-A-A. Alright. Well, it's morning in Gideon, living in a easier time. DJ Kevin Stew are on the radio every time.
The sound of Cesar.
Alright. Well, it's morning in Gideon, living in a easier time. Jaja give we
The
straight.
track is called Morning in Gideon.
World they in a crisis, but we still a thrive. Who no understand, I wonder why. Fox News and CNN, breaking news a bag of lie. More them a divide, the more they make from a
I do want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight and checking out Community and Finance Night right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to the affiliates once again. NIE Radio, Island Worldwide, One Harmony Radio, the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com, PEMGTV.com, Zeno FM, WGLRO, Hollow-Up Radio, Dusic Media Groups. Much love to you all. Truly appreciate love each and every one of you. Do remember, March Madness continues at a time when hand washing happens even more than it used to. When you get dry hands and such, you know. People like to have that tender touch. Go ahead and restore the gentleness with satin hands. Yeah, go to visit my Mary Kay site, marykay.com/Kevin Stew. Go ahead and buy yourself a satin hand set and get 50% off the pink clay mask. Yeah, man. March Madness continues. As we close out this night, I do remind you that I'm back tomorrow, all being well, with healthy love. You are encouraged to look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. Those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, or the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride or drive. These are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stew. This is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday right here, kevinstew.com and affiliates. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you a good night. Until y'all take care. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.